Block and Load is a breath of fresh air from the studio behind the RuneScape franchise, despite being more or less of a team multiplayer mashup of two very familiar games. The question is, can this cartoon destructive shooter hold out on its own? The game puts two teams of 5 players in a multi-level stage where the objective is to destroy the opponent's cube. Each match will begin in a standby phase, and will be timed on setting up all kinds of defenses to make the destruction of their precious cube as difficult as possible. Setting up a good defensive strategy is entirely up to your imagination with the types of traps, blocks, and drill provided by the hero you choose to play as. What also limits your building capabilities are the game's currency, bricks, which can be attained through digging or gaining supply bonuses and blockbusters that randomly drop during the match sessions. When the timer runs out, it's time for mayhem as your team splits up to execute the offensive and defensive strategy. The gameplay is practically a mashup of base defense, Minecraft, and Team Fortress 2. The execution of this hybrid shooter leads to a much greater representation of a blocky team shooter than so many others that are currently available on Steam. Each class offers a different perspective on the session, whether you are specialized for melee combat, setting up traps, or making a gigantic mess for your opponent's base. One of the things that's either a hit or miss is that there's no I in team regarding the success or failure of one group of heroes. Not one character will ever be more useful than the other. It almost seems like a huge requirement that each team member should be playing as a different class, for 3 or more of the same characters on one team could run the risk of failure. Regardless, in-game sessions are where teamwork matters most, and only rarely have we encountered an uncooperated group of allies. This game isn't very unique, but you can easily look past that and sink a ton of hours into statistically leveling up your heroes and enjoying the heck out of this wonderfully crafted destructive shooter, even if the matches don't really end until one team's cube or set of cubes are destroyed. What also should be praised are the maps themselves, offering layers upon layers of exploration in a nice distinctive theme. Sometimes the maps will contain multiple cubes to defend and destroy, creating an even more tense experience. Since launch, more maps have also been added on for free, but the option of creating your very own battlefield is unfortunately not possible. You could argue that this can be forgiven considering the plethora of maps that are available, but knowing that Blackstorm contains a similar mode and can be edited is a missed opportunity for Block and Load. Then, the flaws carry over outside of the match, where the diverse creativity is more or less of choosing which title to give to your profile. There are no alternative variants, offline, or different modes as far as I'm aware. Ranked and Apocalypse are strangely disabled unless if it's a specific time during specific days, which is frustrating for those who want to challenge themselves even further to a couple of alternative variants that they may never be able to try, unless if they could get on that specific time and date. Then there's the weak custom games option, containing lackluster match customization and 0 benefits outside of a full session with friends or ensuring your favorite map is what gets picked. Finding a public session can also be a hit or miss, with the queue time being from a couple seconds to 7 minutes. If you look past these problems, you'll find a silly chaotic shooter to enjoy from various perspectives and for a very lengthy time. For $14.99, Block and Load is a good game.